Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's Just Two Movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name's Daniel King. We're doing the same thing that we do every week. We watch two movies. One of them's good, one of them's bad. You get it, you're a smart cat. With me in here today is my boy Justin.
Yes,
First
sir.
time guest in the hot seat.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, how you been, bruh?
Pretty good, just hanging out,
Yeah.
not being too busy or anything.
Is that instead of you doing a bit?
Yeah, no, yeah, we're I've been trying to catch up on your podcast, and here I am.
Nice. So, for those of you that don't know Justin, which is all of you, you've listened to almost all. What do you have? Like 3 episodes you haven't listened to? We were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I took a while to get into it, and then I finally did, and I got 3 episodes left. I've been listening to all the new ones. Mm-hmm. And working on the backlog. I got 3 left to go.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mean, anybody can do this show, as long as you're not a prick,
Right?
And you're not.
I'll try not to be.
Yeah.
But sometimes.
Well, we all have our moments.
Right.
So, as is customary on our show here, you picked the movie that we were going to do. You went with a hot piece of nostalgia.
I did.
Yeah. Tell everybody what you picked.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys. This is a movie that I haven't seen since I was a lost boy, at the ripe age of probably like 7 or something. I remember I went to my friend's house and watched this, and when I came back, I was telling my parents about it, and they were very upset. And they called my friend's parents and was like, "What the fuck?" They were not happy that I watched this. But I haven't seen it since then, and. Right. I mean, we'll get into it, but The Lost Boys, if you're not familiar with it, is a 1987 horror comedy. I imagine they probably added the comedy label later. Hour 37-minute runtime, 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 76 on Rotten Tomatoes, 63 on Metacritic. Initial release was July 31st, 1987, directed by Joel Schumacher. Music by Thomas Newman. Story by Janice Fisher, James Jeremias. Yeah, box office, this made $33.2 million.
Yeah, it did pretty good for it's
for putting in $8.5 million in the budget. That is huge. I mean, that's a shitload of money to make for a movie in 1987 for real. So this made buckets of money. Cast, this stars a super young Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, Jason Patrick, Jamie Gertz, Diane West, Jameson Newlander, Alex Winter. Alex Winter in this is fantastic. Edward Herman, Billy Wirth, Bernard Hughes, and Brooke McCarter. I mean, just to name like some of the top billed characters. I like to put my guest on the spot as always. If you it bumped into a buddy of yours and he was like, "Hey man, what you been up to?" And you're like, "I was on a podcast. I watched this movie called The Lost Boys." And he goes, "I've never seen it. What's it about?"
It's about a group of lost boys. It's about some vampires.
You're just walking around a mall being like, "Mom?" No,
there's no mall. Definitely no mall. It's they're in Santa Carla.
It's weird. I really thought there would have been a mall in this at some point, because it's the 80s.
Right.
And they're, teens or early 20-somethings.
Well, take out the mall, put in the carnival.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty bitchin' looking carnival, too.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so, it's all about, you got to get rid of the main vampire, and that's what the whole thing's about, pretty much.
Okay, So you may not know this about me. I love monsters.
Okay.
I love, fictional monsters. I love them. I love monsters that have their own specific lore and traits, you know what I mean? Because no two vampires are exactly the same. They have different different things they can do. Some of them are shapeshifters. Some of them have mind control powers. Some of them have, different, like, power of suggestion.
Definitely, yeah.
Some of them just have, like, wildly different capabilities. I really liked the vampires in this.
Yeah, they seem somewhat basic for the most part, but they do. There's some parts in there where they seem to have some sort of mind control throughout the movie.
If you were in this world with these vampires, you know that you got a fighting chance.
Right. Yes.
Like, you can handle them,
well,
but...
They're supposed to be teenagers, right?
Right.
So that is one interesting part of it, because they don't seem like teenagers to me.
Mm-mm.
But they're supposed to be, they're talking about, one of the main characters, Michael, when school starts, all these things are going to change. The mother keeps telling him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, he's in school still. College would seem to make more sense, but yeah, they're supposed to be high schoolers.
Yeah. This, well, I guess technically Stranger Things has given me these vibes, but I'm getting some real, have you seen Stranger Things?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the guy's like he's like supposed to be a sexy older teenager, and he's like gonna bang everybody's mom. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
The girl's older brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting some real him vibes through this whole movie.
Oh, for real.
So I think it makes me wonder if the Duffer Brothers like kind of based that character off of like, man, you remember the Lost Boys?
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Let's do that, because they're coming in 80s, like, real fucking hard with Stranger Things.
Right.
This is fun though, man. This is a fun flick. So you got a family.
Yeah.
There's a carnival. They're in a shitty place is it California or are they Florida?
Yeah, I believe California. Yeah, it's supposed to be the murder capital of the world.
Murder capital of the world. Well, I can't speak to that. We only have the meth capital of the world here.
That's true.
So
we're pretty proud of that,
well,
too.
we were. I don't know. I think Florida's trying to give us a run for our money, but, They're
going to have to work a little bit harder.
I'd like to see you fucking try, Florida, because we got too many porcelain bathtubs full of meth out here where we live, which is a shame.
And Jefferson County.
Yeah, Jefferson County's pretty rough, too. So you've got some dingy looking, supposed to be teenagers.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I saw those people, I'd be like, they're either vampires or they're just very into vampires.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look very, they're super pale, a lot of leather.
Yeah, definitely a lot of leather.
A lot of fucking horny ass leather.
Right at the beginning of the movie, or shortly after, Michael he gets really cool whenever he gets a leather jacket on.
Oh, dude, he's immediately cooler.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he's kind of a dweeb, like when it starts out.
Yeah.
No, not to be derogatory to any of you dweebs out there, but get a leather jacket, get over yourself. It's fine.
And black glasses.
Oh,
you gotta have very dark glasses.
Oh yeah, like spray painted black almost.
Right.
Just that matte finish, so you can't see shit.
Right. Yeah, they wear them all the time on there. He's not quite transitioned over, so he can be out there during the day.
Yeah,
but he's got to have those glasses.
So you've got just to set this up. I don't think we're gonna hit every beat of this movie. I have a lot to say about it.
Right.
But just so everybody's on the same page, you have a family that moves to this town, which
Santa Carla.
Santa Carla, California.
I don't think it's an actual town. I think the name is different. I was reading that it's not the actual name of the town, but I could be wrong. I'm not gonna. Maybe you should edit that part out because
whatever, man. We have approximate knowledge of all things on this show. Don't even worry about it.
That sounds
it
right.
may or may not be a real town. Here you go. All your bases are covered.
Excellent.
So they're driving. They're getting ready to move to this town. They pass the billboard. It says "Welcome to Santa Carla." And then on the back of the billboard, there's just hella graffiti that says like "Murder Capital of the World," which I thought was really cool.
Right.
Like it just like sets the tone for the rest of the film.
Now, did you know that they did not like that part of the movie? Like the
people that
the
made
area that it was at? No, because because that was when there was murders. Like in the 70s, there were 3 murderers there. Ed Kemper was one of them.
Oh shit! Okay, so yeah, this is really like a southern to mid California. This is based on a real place. Then.
Yeah, it's based on a real place, but I think they changed the name. Is what I meant.
So it would have been, what? Ed Kemper, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, and...
At the time, it was...
Wait, Richard Ramirez was like 90s.
It wasn't him.
It wasn't Ramirez? Go ahead. Go ahead. Flip through those notes if you need to. I want to know.
Sorry.
Inquiring minds want to know.
They do, definitely. The three murderers that were all in that time frame in the early 70s was Kemper, John Fraser, and Herbert Mullen. And I'm not too familiar with the other two.
Herbert Mullen. Fraser, I think, didn't he murder people with a fucking hammer or something?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with those two.
Okay. Well, if it's probably on a true crime podcast. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Do you want us to do that here on the show? Write me at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Add us just two movies on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not going to do it, but you can still write me and tell me. I'm concerned about your opinion. I generally, if you write the show, I personally will write you back, which is probably why you're not writing. But anyway.
You never know.
So, you get these people, they move to Santa Carla. The oldest teen boy gets inducted into this group of, young, hip, super cool vampire guys.
Right.
And they want him to finish his initiation, which he is hesitant to do. And the younger brother finds out that they have to kill the main vampire to release the harem of vampire slaves, so to speak.
Kill the main one, and then they're all saved.
If only everything was that simple.
That would be nice.
That's why we spend
just kill the main vampire.
Yeah, that's right.
Along in that time, they meet also the Frog Brothers, which is obviously a huge part of the movie.
Yes, sir.
Cory Feldman,
Mm-hmm.
He's back in his heyday.
Cory Feldman, to me, looks like a 15-year-old boy that sounds like a 35-year-old man.
He does.
It's a weird combination of things. He just, I don't know why he developed a full man's voice at the age of 12 or whatever.
Well, it's probably all the drugs.
Probably all the drugs.
Yeah, he actually got fired from this movie because of a drug addiction. And then came back and apologized, and he got rehired
got the part back, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say that the Corys in this is the most refreshing part of the whole movie for me. That's what kept me really glued and invested into it.
Right.
I liked the vampire lore and the these vampires are this way, but some vampires are this way. I like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that got covered when those two were on screen. It was like when they're out in the middle of the fucking desert riding motorcycles and shit.
Right? Yeah, and that was crazy. They're I think it's a beach though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they ride through a beach also.
Right.
But they don't cover any of that shit. There's no exposition where exposition where Kiefer Sutherland or Alex Winter are oh yeah, we can fly, but you can only fly under these circumstances, or these are the limitations, or whatever.
No.
But the kids know. Right. So when it's the kids just bullshitting in the comic book shop, and then, when they're prepping to go kill vampires and shit, I was very invested in it. I was like, this is fucking great.
Right.
So a couple of things for me. Some of the visual effects for this are a little cheesy pie.
Right.
But for 1987, they probably weren't on the day.
Right.
They probably looked on par with anything else you would watch. So I can't really knock it for that, because that's just what it looked like at the time.
Right. Yeah.
But if you haven't seen this movie and you're thinking about watching it, just know that some of the visual effects a little on the cheesy side.
Well, it was it's a 80s horror movie.
Right. Yeah. So they were probably shooting this thing. I would imagine it took a year or two to shoot. So, I mean, you're talking about 1987, so may have started shooting this in 1985.
Actually, it only took them 3 weeks to film the whole movie.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
That was a trivia.
That's got to be on par with one of the fastest movies ever shot.
Yeah, for real. That's what, unless I am misinformed on what I read.
Nobody's going to fact check us. Who cares?
Right. It's for sure fact. 100%.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Absolutely.
Right.
3 weeks. Man, I like this. All right, one thing that really did fuck me up though, like not gonna lie, I started laughing out loud and was like, is this having a little fun with itself, or did it think that this was a badass scene? The bit when they're at a Michael goes and he sees the girl and he's like, oh man, look at that girl, she sure is pretty, gosh darn. And they're at this like concert and there's just like a shirtless dude playing the shit out of the saxophone.
He is,
and he's like sexy and oiled or whatever.
He is.
And he's
like, into it. Yeah.
Is that a real band? Do you?
I couldn't tell you. I tried to find some information about that. I know that
I feel like that's probably a real artist,
right?
In that
he is really into it. If
dude,
it's not,
he's going for it hard as fuck, and he sounds great. But it just like. He's so oily. His hair's so long.
Yeah, he is. And the whole time, Michael's missing the whole show. Oh,
dude, he's making eyes at old Burnett Doe Eyes, whatever. Star, that's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of women named Star, there is a comedy movie that came out not that long ago called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Have you seen that, or is that on your radar at all?
It is not. I have not heard of this.
That's worth a watch. I'm actually surprised we haven't done it on the podcast because it's Alicia and I have seen it like 10 times now. It's hysterical. It's like a buddy comedy that just gets a little funnier every time you watch it.
Right.
But it's about two middle-aged ladies that go on vacation. And it's great. It's great. It's got Kristen Wiig and some other gal. I can't remember. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So, back to The Lost Boys.
So Michael is like stalking Star here in this scene.
Oh,
like,
dude,
staring at her.
He's chasing tail.
Yeah,
He's trying to get up in them guts.
Yeah, he finally talks to her, and he makes fun of her name Star about her being a hippie. Yeah, or her parents being a hippie.
And then he's like, "You want to go get a bite to eat?" And she immediately gets on a motorcycle with him. She's like, "Yeah, you're an asshole. I'm into it."
Right. Yeah, that's about the time when old Kiefer Sutherland comes up and says, Star. She doesn't go with him then. Yeah. She goes with David. Kiefer.
Oh, Kiefer Sutherland. Man, what a fucking sexy piece of man meat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I enjoy it.
He's fucking looking good, dude. I'm sure when I watched this when I was a kid, I was like, fuck, I want to be like that guy.
He was badass,
He's
right?
fucking cool. Yeah. He's got a leather jacket. He like can say as few words as possible. And he's like, everybody just like respects him and is a little weary of him everywhere he goes. Like everybody like, they kind of clear a path. You know what I mean? Because they can tell he'll be like, this guy will fucking, they'll stab you and suck your blood. But they don't know the blood sucking part. Some of them do though.
It's the whole time. They're like they own the place, but they're teenagers and they're supposed to be in school. Mm-hmm. So they're teenagers and they own the place and people just like let them do whatever they want.
Some of this, man, okay. So for an older film, there are movies that are up on a pedestal for renown for their artistic ambitions. There are a couple of scenes in this movie that I would argue are on par with any of the great films of this day. There's a bit where the mom goes into the video store to ask for a job application. It's like right up at the front of the movie. So she goes into the video store. She's asking for a job application. The manager's like, oh yeah, and they're having a little. And then Kiefer and the boys come in, Alex Winter, and they do a little walk around. And he's like, I thought I told you not to come in here. And now I'm not. My description of the scene is not doing it justice. But if you watch the movie, that scene, it's great, man. They make this weird like tension out of nothing. Like it's just people walking in a video store, walking around a counter, and then walking out. And it's a very simple, hi, are you guys hiring? May I have an application? But that's it. That's all this. The interaction is mundane as fuck.
Yeah.
But it gets like it's got a really tense, like gripping, like, hey, this is a part you really need to pay attention to. It's done super well. And for a movie I haven't seen since I was a kid, man, this is a good pick because there are 4 or 5 scenes in this movie that are just fucking, I don't want to say edge of your seat by sounding cheesy because it is from 1987, but they're intense, like the intensity for it. And for just such a mundane thing, that for me is a lot of what makes a really great spaghetti. I was making the Italian hands. I use my hands a lot when I talk. If you can't tell because it's an audio format. Use your imagination and just imagine me pretending I know sign language while I'm talking. But yeah, there was a bunch of that I actually thought was really, really good. Yeah,
definitely. That scene, you have the dog also growling at these kids that come in.
Oh yeah,
you know? It is done very well.
Yeah, there was a lot of good dogs in this.
Yeah, you have they're like the hellhounds or whatever. They're protecting their masters, right?
Yeah, and they talk a little bit about that too, which I thought was interesting. Like in this universe or whatever.
Later on in the movie, you have the mom that dang near gets killed by Max's dog.
Yeah, Max. I couldn't remember his name. Thank you.
Right.
Which, by the way, that guy also, the guy that owns the video store, he's the head vampire. So he's like hitting on the mom or whatever. And it's later revealed that he didn't give a shit about the kids or Michael or, the younger kids or anything. He wanted the mom.
Right.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And the mom, again, played by Diane West, who's fantastic in this. It's I haven't seen Diane West look so young in something in a long time. She's a good-looking lady back in the day.
Right. Yeah. I couldn't tell you anything else she was in.
Man, she's in tons of shit.
Right.
Let's see here. Diane West films, filmography.
Yeah, I don't believe I've watched near the amount of movies as you have, sir.
Oh, dude. She's in I Care a Lot, Edward Scissorhands, The Mule, Let Them Talk, The Birdcage, Hannah and Her Sisters, I Am Sam, Practical Magic, Footloose, Parenthood, Bullets Over Broadway, Falling in Love, The Horse Whisperer, The Associate. She's in just a shitload of stuff. She's in Bridesmaids. What is she in Bridesmaids? I like that. That's probably like my favorite chick flick.
It's pretty decent.
Bridesmaids?
I've watched it, but I don't remember every minute of it, obviously.
Yeah.
I do remember her in one of the movies you said.
Good.
Right.
That's good.
You said so many movies. I was trying to keep track of all of them.
Was it The Mule?
No, definitely not.
Was it
Footloose?
I Care? Okay, yeah. Footloose.
She's in
Footloose.
I remember for sure from Footloose.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff. It was it's refreshing to see her so fresh-faced in this.
Right. Because
she's still in movies that are not like she's still in new movies. Like she's still active and working.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It really is great to see her in this. I thought she was fantastic though. She does have like an approachable nature about her. You know what I mean? Just like as the mom, she feels like somebody like you could walk up to and go, "Excuse me, do you have the time?" And then stand there and bullshit with her for 5 minutes just because she's so pleasant.
Yeah, just your everyday mom.
These vampires, let's get back to the vampires. They do have an interesting skill set. So I don't know if mind control is in that skill set, but they can definitely fuck with like your perception of things.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by mind control. Just not making you do anything.
They can't be like walk off the cliff, but they can make you like, look at a bowl of noodles and see a bowl of worms.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
Rice and maggots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's I remember back in the day when I originally watched this movie, that really messing with me. And having an issue with Chinese food thereafter. Because it's just one of those things.
Do you still have an issue with Chinese food?
I don't. I love some Chinese food.
Dude, my issue with it is that, like, we live in two different towns. We live about 20 minutes away, you and I, for people that don't know. You got a couple of options for Chinese food over there where you live.
Yeah. I
have two. So it's the shitty Chinese food place that's 10 minutes away or the good one that's 30 minutes away.
Right.
Those are my two options. So the good one that's 30 minutes away, it's like, man, I get me and my lady and my kid get Chinese food. It's like fucking almost $50.
Right.
It's probably a good thing we don't get it very often because I would be like 600 pounds and be like, editing this show would be a fucking nightmare. I would have to hire someone to edit the audio for this show.
I do like some Chinese food.
Anyway.
Yeah, back on topic here.
Stay on target. So, all right, yeah, we got to get through some of this because I got like a page and a half left of notes, and I'm sure you have like 9 pages of notes. You fucking hear me, Birdman? This is Justin's first episode. He's got like 6 pages of notes.
I do. I wanted to be prepared.
You are. You're more prepared than I am.
My notes here, like the way we're sitting, I can't see them. You know what I mean? Like I can see them, but my handwriting was sloppy. I was trying to scratch notes while I was watching a movie.
Biker guys steal what?
Where do you see
I think
that?
it says biker guys steal what?
Biker guys steal what? Question mark. Yeah, so they're at the movies, they're at the comics. These biker guys are in the first couple scenes, right?
Yeah.
So you have they're on the carousel, and that's where David first they get into it, you know?
Yeah.
And then the fat cop says, "Hey, get out of here." And then they're just messing around in front of the comic book store.
That's the most relatable character to me is the fat cop.
He is.
I feel that guy.
He's just trying to get through his day.
Man, he's just trying to go home so he can watch his programs.
Right? His programs. Yeah.
His program, drink a cold beer, you know. Put his car battery on the charger and kick back in his easy chair. And yep.
Yeah. So then they're
scream at his wife and hit his kids and go to sleep.
That sounds about right. I know.
I'm joking. Abuse is not okay. Don't do that.
It's definitely not. Then so what that note is about? They're in front of the comic book stand while they're talking to Sam, the younger brother, is talking to the Frog Brothers, and they're whatever, and then they're out there right out in front of the comic book shop, and they got like this. I don't know. It's probably like their
bad name, by the way. Rewrite that. Take that back to the table. The Frog Brothers.
Right.
That's bad.
I'm not a big fan of the Frog Brothers.
Is it because Cory Feldman sounds like a... Is it because he sounds like a frog? Do they just refer to him? Or does he say, like, my last name is Frog?
I don't know. I know they say they're the Frog Brothers, but I don't know how that became to be a thing.
It's fucking weird. I either need elaboration on that or just cut it.
I think
I'm the Smith Brothers. Okay, great. Fantastic. The Frog Brothers, it's a little on the nose for me. Carry on, though.
Right. So they're the motorcycle guys that haven't been killed yet.
Mm-hmm.
The main guy.
Yeah.
They're out there and they're talking and they're doing whatever, and then they grab what appears to be comics, and they take off running. So I'm not sure that they're biker guys, but it says like they steal comics. What do these guys want comics for?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they don't appear to be into comics, but then later the woman and the guy are in the car making out, you know, he's all over her and she's reading what appears to be the comic, maybe the stolen comic. And then they, then
they just kind of fuck off.
Well, they get killed. They do get fucked off.
Yeah. They get permanently fucked off.
That's correct.
Is that, you're talking about like, this is like after the like initiation ritual thing or whatever?
It's before all of that. So...
okay. All right. Yeah. No, we're on the same page. All right. I got you. I was just trying to imagine which scene you're on. I know what you're talking about. So Michael, he goes with all the vampire guys.
Yeah, they go down to the building that fall.
They're fucking with his brain a little bit.
Right.
And they get him into this ritual situation, and they're all chanting his name. And Alex Winter's like, Michael.
Yeah, slow chant. Right.
And they get him to drink he drinks the wine blood.
Well, they're messing with him the whole time.
Yeah, so they're like, it's blood. It's definitely wine.
And he doesn't believe. Star tells him it's blood, and he doesn't believe it because the whole maggot incident and the worm incident.
Right.
So he drinks it.
Would you eat Chinese food thing full of worms for a bet? You don't have to eat all of it. You just got to get like one good chopstick.
But it depends on what the bet is. Just a bet? What kind? Are we talking
it's
money?
Like, I don't know, $50.
Probably not $50. I'm not hurting that bad for $50.
Oh, it's just fucking good, clean protein. Sure.
I'm a sissy when it comes to that stuff.
You're not into that?
I'll drink some bourbon, but I'm not going to eat some worms.
I got a buddy that would eat a fucking spider half as big as your face. If you're like, hey, eat that spider, he'd be like, all right.
No way.
It's fucking insane, man.
There's no way I can do that.
He's probably a vampire, if I had to guess.
He could be.
He might be. You never know. Teens, are they vampires? We're asking the hard-hitting questions tonight at 8. So they take Michael through this like weird, but also really like really tense initiation ritual.
Right. Holy crap, dude, that's scary as hell.
Yeah, and so back to the house. He goes back to the house. He's slowly turning into a vampire or whatever. But I want to take a second and talk about the weird grandpa.
The weird grandpa's badass.
The weird
dude.
grandpa is fucking cash money.
Yeah.
He's great. I wish he was my grandpa. I'd be like, oh, grandpa, you did too much acid back in the 60s.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
He's ate up, man.
He is. He's getting in the car and he won't go to town. He doesn't like the town. He knows there's vampires around.
Yeah.
You know?
Later in the movie, he's like, the only thing I don't like about this town, too many goddamn vampires.
That's exactly right. That's how the movie ends, actually.
He's fucking sick, man. I love that old grandpa. Like, the comedy relief, I guess technically this is a horror comedy because that guy is in there specifically for comedy relief.
Oh, yeah. He's talking about getting lucky.
Yeah, he's not a pivotal character. He's in there. He's like, oh, maybe he's getting pussy. Maybe he's drinking too much. He's out of control. This crazy grandpa.
Right.
He's great, though.
Right.
And he translates so good to the screen.
He's always given the younger brother stuffed animals. Not stuffed animals. Taxidermy. You know, he wakes up to the owl and the
he's like, oh, why does he keep giving these to me?
Right.
Yeah.
He's got to have a ton of those in his closet.
So think like the Goonies, but more sinister.
Right.
It's pretty much the tone of all of this.
Yeah. So I noticed the whole deal. It's like also there's this love story with Michael and Star, and you have David also, but David is like Star's pimp, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
or
like
maybe
a
like
weird,
overly protective, like not a boyfriend, but not. I don't know. He's abusive. He's psychologically abusive. He's a dick. He's a dick, and he's a vampire.
Yeah, but so Michael's trying to prove his dick's bigger the whole time. So it's the whole time. It's like he's trying to get Star, but David still wants Star, but he doesn't really.
It's a pissing contest over some trim.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But it does make for compelling storytelling for some reason, specifically with these two characters, like with Michael and what's Kiefer's David. So with Michael and David, it's very much just a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of them actually has supernatural powers, and the other one is like just a dude.
Right. A teenage dude.
A teenage dude who's in his mid-20s.
That's right.
There's a bit where, so Michael's, he's like turning into a vampire, and they're like, ooh, come with us, Michael. So he does, and they go to like, all these people are having a bonfire out near the beach in the middle of nowhere. They're all hiding up in that tree.
Right.
I really like the cinematography in that scene. Like the way that it's got them all up in the fucking trees and shit. They just, at first, I was like, why are they even getting in that tree? Like, there's no point to them being in that tree. But the more I thought about it, there kind of is, because they're trying to be discreet.
Right.
And once they're all in the tree, the camera shot that you get of, like, all of them up in, like, when it's panned out, all of them up in the tree, like, I don't know, man, it looks good. Like, aesthetically, it's a good picture, it's a good shot.
Yeah. And
they attack all these, like, would you say?
Well, they
just
go
beachgoers? They're just people having a party?
Yeah, they're just people hanging out, having a good time, probably drinking. I'm sure there's drugs involved.
Oh, yeah.
And their body count goes from like 3 to like 12 or whatever it is.
Real fast.
In a matter of seconds.
And this particular scene is pretty brutal, especially for the fucking 80s. I mean, they are full on fucking ripping throats and biting chunks of people's heads off and shit. That whole scene I thought was quite brutal.
Man, there's some point, this is being cut by the way, there's some point where they're on that train bridge.
Uh-huh.
Is that before that or after that?
That's before they take him to drink the blood.
Okay, so no, because he's a vampire at that point. Because he's on the train bridge and he falls and he wakes up in bed the next day. Can you imagine getting out on that train bridge? You get down with your buddies.
Oh my God, no. When they all drop down and are hanging off the bars, I would be like, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, so the dude gets down, Michael gets down.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how scary that would be? You jump down there, you're hanging out with your your buddies, you're doing something dumb. These guys are all dropping, and you think you're going to die. You drop. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, it would be terrifying because they're all just down there screaming like, "Come on, Michael!"
Right.
Woo,
Exactly.
woo." They're sounded like they're white girl wasted down there. You know what I mean?
For real.
And that's not derogatory towards white girls, but y'all can't handle your liquor. So,
Right.
you know who you are. Yeah. So they're at this where they're getting ready to attack all these people when they're hanging out in the tree and shit.
Right.
And they're trying to tell Michael like, you don't fully turn until you do your first kill.
Right. Yeah. That's what does it.
Yeah, and Michael doesn't want to do it. He's like, no.
No, he's not full on board with being a vampire.
No, he's not down on being on going full suckhead. You never go full suckhead. Everybody know that. Man, we should have done a Blade movie with this. I have the whole Blade trilogy.
Right.
But anyway, we'll get to that. We're gonna do another awful fun movie. So they devise a plan to kill Kiefer Sutherland. The skip ahead a bit. Michael and his younger brother's like, "Fuck, Michael, you're a vampire, don't eat me." And he's like, "I wouldn't eat you, bro. I fucking love you, man." And he's like, "We gotta figure out how to kill these vampires and how to make sure that you're not a vampire. So we'll talk to the Corys." And Cory's like, "You gotta kill the main vampire, bro." And he's like, "Okay, we'll do that. We'll kill the main vampire. You won't be a vampire no more." So they devise this plan to kill Kiefer Sutherland because they think that he's the main vampire.
Well, I don't know.
At first, they think it's the guy from the video store that's dating the mom.
Right.
And then they're like, they put him up against a couple of tests to see if he's a vampire or not. He passes the tests. So they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's not him.
Which, you know how he passed the test. They invited him into the house.
Which I thought was fucking great.
He made Michael invite him into the house.
Dude, I'm all about like picking and choosing what pieces of lore from an ancient monster that you want to fucking put into your film. The fact that because someone opened the door and he waited at the door to be invited in.
Exactly, yeah.
And Michael invited him in. For some reason, a bunch of the things that would normally kill him or normally harm him because he was invited in are now null and void.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great fucking fluff. So there's like a bunch of garlic in the food and he's like eating in there. Like kids are like, "Oh, it's garlic." And he's like, "No, I love garlic." He goes, "Just it's a bit much."
And it was a lot.
It was a shit ton of garlic.
Right?
Yeah.
You put Parmesan on your spaghetti.
You ever have so much garlic on something that it actually burns when you eat it?
I'm not a big fan of garlic, so I'm going to go with no.
Huh, okay. Didn't know that.
A little bit's all right, but
Okay.
not a huge fan. Like garlic bread, yeah, it's all right, but not overly garlic bread.
I like garlic a lot, but there is such a thing as too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now that being said, when I am cooking like a shrimp pasta or whatever, I'm pretty heavy-handed with it. But there is such a thing as too much, like where you're chewing it, it actually fucking like burns your mouth a little bit. It has like a chemical reaction, almost like a horseradish or whatever.
Okay, I believe I've experienced that. I don't eat a whole lot of garlic though, so not often.
It's supposed to be good for your heart.
I should have more garlic.
Or so I'm told. Garlic and onions. So, we'll see here. Feldman looks like 15, sounds like 35. They have a cool, there's like a cool Rambo shootout. You know what I'm talking about? The Rambo shootout scene?
I'm not knowing what you're talking about. Which scene are we talking about? Are you talking about the end at the house? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So the end when all the vampires come to the house and they all come to get killed.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about whenever they're in the cave / building that resort that has fallen into the water and our buddy Marco, Alex Winter, gets stabbed in the heart.
Alex Winter's fucking great in this, by the way. He actually might be my favorite casting choice of the whole movie. I mean, I really like Kiefer Sutherland as David.
Yeah. Do you know who almost got cast as David instead?
Please fucking tell me.
Jim Carrey.
Oh,
would that not be a completely different movie?
Well, Jim Carrey is in another vampire movie of that era, Once Bitten. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
It's, I believe it's Jim Carrey. Hold on, I gotta look it up now.
So maybe that was why he was he was, had some interest in it at the time.
Once Bitten, 1985, stars Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. And
Really? Okay.
Lauren Hutton. So essentially Jim Carrey gets bitten and turned into a vampire, and he's like hilarious and coping with being a vampire.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got more of a comedy vibe to it.
Right. I did not know that. So that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Ace Ventura or whatever.
Way to get it, Kiefer Sutherland. This probably made his entire fucking career.
Oh, yeah.
What had
real.
he done prior to this?
Nothing that I know of.
Yeah, I'm with you. Nothing that I can recall, surely.
Right.
This is the first movie that I ever remember being like, who is that guy? And watching the ending credits and be like, Kiefer Sutherland, okay. And he is the biological son to the world's hottest piece of ass, Donald Sutherland.
Well, if that ain't a throwback.
That's a fucking throwback joke from episode 1. So if you've been paying attention, that's just for you.
Right.
So they go down into the cave and they fucking see, they find where the vampires are. They're hanging. They thought they'd be in.
I don't think you see it quite here, but a little bit later, they got some wild ass feet.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, some gnarly ass fucking toes, bro.
The toenails are sharp and shit.
Ugh.
No thanks.
I'm not a foot guy, though, so...
Definitely not a foot guy.
I give my old lady a foot massage, but it's not a sexual thing. It's,
right.
You know what I mean? Like a Pulp Fiction, it's not sensual. But I also wouldn't give a man a foot massage, so... Maybe it is a little sensual.
Well,
I don't know. But I'm not a
here?
foot guy. I'm not like, oh, yeah, feet. Mm.
No, definitely
but
not.
Fucking...
Right?
Either way, no. It looks like if a seal had a baby with a chicken, like how you might expect its foot to look. It's pretty fucking gnarly, and looks dangerous and not cool all at the same time.
I'm trying to picture that, and I think you nailed it.
It's like a flipper and a chicken.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. They look pretty fucking gross, but great also at the same time. Like,
yeah,
that's a great effect. That's a good practical effect. It's whatever they use, like just a rubber prop or whatever.
Oh yeah,
fucking looks great.
It does.
Yellow prop and a coat hanger probably.
Well, they're vampires. They got to be hanging upside down.
Yeah.
They only got $8 million to work with, but it's a very practical effect.
Oh yeah. So one of the kids fucking stakes Alex Winter, and they fuck up because. You probably should have staked Kiefer Sutherland if you were going to stake any of them.
For real.
Although he's still not the head vampire.
No, but he seems to be clearly the most badass of the group.
He's clearly the scariest.
Right.
Yeah.
He is.
This is, and I've made fun of before, like on any older vampire movies, like when they're like, oh, he's in vampire mode. They just don't have eyebrows, right? And they make the bridge of their eyebrows fatter, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So they make everybody look like vampires, and they do it in this movie. It's no exception. Looks good though. They've got some contacts, which is
right.
You've seen some cosplays probably on Instagram or Reddit or whatever that look as good, if not better, than some of these. But again, this is 1987, man. It looks pretty fucking terrifying.
That's what I was thinking. It is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It is pretty fucking creepy.
It definitely gets the point across.
Yeah, so they know that all the vampires are going to be looking for them. They retreat. They go back to the house, and they set up. They're like, fuck, man, we only got a couple hours. And they do. They Kevin McAllister these motherfuckers.
They do.
They're like, they get a bathtub full of holy garlic water and shit.
Right.
Which I thought was hysterical. Like, not only taking that holy water up a notch, but they all fill up their water guns with holy water and shit.
So when they're getting the holy water in the church, they're all in there. The people are just looking at them like, what are you doing? But, it's not a big deal that you're filling up your water guns with our holy water.
Right.
Speaking of, have you ever seen holy water at a church? Is that a thing? Because I've never seen that.
It is at a Catholic church.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I only know this because I'm an ordained minister.
I know you are.
Yeah, I'm the Reverend King.
That's excellent.
You know what? Tell you what, I'll do you a solid. I absolve you of your sins. Look at that. Clean slate.
I appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Yeah, no, that is a thing at a Catholic church.
Okay.
It's not as common around here, but if you go to like larger churches and stuff like that, it's not unusual for them to have. It's almost kind of like a bird bath.
Right. Well, that's very
and that's
similar.
normally what they'll use to like baptize children and stuff, and
gotcha.
especially in larger cities with larger populations. If a considerable amount of the population is Catholic, people have a baby. They don't discuss it with the church. They just have a baby. They get the baby. They bring it to the church. They have to have holy water just kind of on standby. In the facet of the religion, the water's just water until it's blessed by a priest. So they might as well just get a big thing of water, bless it all at once, and that'll cover you for the week or the month or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, which is not really sanitary, but, that's beside the point, I suppose, when it comes to, your
holy water.
Your immortal sins and bacteria.
Right. It's holy water, so it's...
Can't be infected. That'd be some shit, though. You know what I mean? It'd be an easy thing to prove if you could just, take some holy water and put, Giardia in it.
Right.
And then a priest would bless it and the Giardia disappeared. Then you'd be like, oh, shit.
That would solve a lot of problems.
That would solve a shit ton of problems, globally.
Right? If you were a survivalist, you'd want to just go get your...
Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. So anyway... They've got this garlic holy water. They got all the holy water. They put it all in a bathtub, and then they throw a bunch of garlic in it, which I think is extra fun.
Right.
I don't know why vampires don't like garlic.
Well, in this movie, it doesn't seem to affect them. Like you said, some things work and some things don't.
Well, and I wondered if the only reason that was because he was invited into the house.
At this point, he says garlic doesn't work. Because they're in the bathroom and he says, "Oh, garlic doesn't work." But then the dog comes in.
Holy water, bitch.
Right. Well, the dog knocks him into. This is Nanook.
Yeah.
Sam's dog knocks him into it. And
good name for an Alaskan Malamute.
Right. Yeah.
The
dog's badass.
Way to keep it legit.
Right. I wonder how they come up with that name, but it definitely fits for sure.
Let's look it up. Nanook.
I don't know how it's spelled. I have it in my notes 2 or 3 different times because I would...
Nanook.
Yeah, I have it in my notes 2 or 3 different times.
Here we go. In the Inuit religion, Nanook was the master of bears.
So the dog's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Master of bears, meaning he decided if hunters deserved success in finding hunting bears or punished violations of taboos. Bears would stay away from hunters who failed to pay respect.
Excellent.
That is pretty cool. So Nanook's he's like a god of the hunt.
Right.
I like that. That's tight, man.
That is a good dog name.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. Good dog name for that specific breed of dog. You ever know anybody that had a Alaskan Malamute?
No, definitely not. I couldn't have even told you that's what the name of the dog was.
Well, I only know that because I used to work for a couple of ladies.
Of course.
I just did manual labor out there. You know what I mean? But they had a big Alaskan Malamute, and they'd always be like, "Don't go near the dog," and I would just pet the dog all the time when they were there. Well, because they were terrified it was going to bite me. They're very territorial.
Right.
But yeah, that's just so immediately when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I got a husky," like I can tell the difference between a husky and a Malamute because the Malamutes are. They look different.
Well, yeah, they definitely... I, not knowing, thought it was a husky.
Right.
But I noticed that it looked a little different, so I assumed it was like a, like a mutt mix or some sort, but
I believe, top of my head, I think the Malamutes don't live as long, but they're larger. If you showed me them side by side, I could tell you which one's which, but it's been a while since I've seen 2 in the same room, or actually, I don't think ever.
Right.
But I have a friend that has a couple of huskies, and I used to work for some ladies that had a Malamute, and they're not as friendly as huskies are. Huskies is a little easier to make friends with a husky than it is with a Malamute. Kind of has to be a slow transaction.
Right.
They're slow to trust.
Well, this one is Sam's hellhound.
He's a badass,
and he kills a zombie.
Yeah, boy.
Right. So. Before that, you have another zombie coming out of the fireplace. So how does that work? Because coming through the fireplace is not an actual thing.
Do they use the term zombie in the movie?
Did I say zombie?
You said zombie twice.
We're talking about vampires, not zombies.
Okay. All right. Gonna be a long night.
I caught myself a couple times and changed it to vampire, and zombies and vampires are clearly not the same thing. But vampires, they don't say anything about zombies in this movie.
I don't think so. Well, I was wondering, I was like, did I just totally miss that? When
Nope.
you're like, another zombie comes out, I'm like, I could see where
Vampire.
you know, they bite somebody, they turn into one. Like, maybe because they're like a henchman and not the main one, did that? No, okay, it's fine.
I misspoke. My bad. Right.
So they eventually figure it out. They get all these vampires into the fucking kill house or whatever.
Right.
They're cleaning house. The main vampire comes in. They're able to dispatch him and alleviate Michael of his vampirism. This is fun, man. This is a fun movie. It's a really good pick. When you picked it, we talked about doing this a couple of months ago,
Right.
and I was like, okay, that'd be a cool pick. And then as I started to watch the movie, I was like, fuck, man, what did I get myself into here? But I really, like, I genuinely enjoyed watching this. I was like, this is like, there were parts of it where I was like, man, is this borderline actually a bad movie? But it's not, though. It's not. It's just an old movie.
Nostalgia plays a lot of part for me. I loved this whenever I was younger.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man.
Right.
This is getting a couple of nostalgia points for me just out of the gate. So, if you had vampire thumbs that like you put your thumb, you have a vampire thumb and you touch somebody else with your vampire thumb and it's got teeth and it bites those people and they turn into vampire thumbs. How many vampire thumbs would you add to your harem of no more than 10 vampire thumbs for this movie?
I would go with probably 8.5 thumbs.
Okay.
And I think really more realistically, it's probably 7 or 7.5. But nostalgia plays a little bit for me, and I really do like the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with an 8.5.
I'm going to give it a 7.5. I had a lot more fun with this than I intended to have. I couldn't remember if this was like really dark and fucking twisted movie that my childhood mind glossed over most of it, or if it was kind of what I thought it was, and it was kind of what I thought it was, but at the same time, man, some of it I was like, shit, some of this is fucking great. Like,
Right.
like really, some of this is really, it's got bones, you know what I mean? It's got
Definitely.
legs. This thing can work by itself as it is, and it does. So, as you would expect us to do, we're gonna go have some more drinks and watch another movie. And the other movie that we're gonna watch is also The Lost Boys, but it is it's like 20 years later or what?
Something like that. I don't know the actual date, but it's The Thirst. It's the third one.
Yeah,
It's
the third. Third.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
I get it. Yeah, that's good. And it's got Cory in it still.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that's like, and I'm betting it's pretty rough.
It's a much older Cory.
Yeah,
And probably more drug addiction.
it's that really charming 14-year-old boy that was in the movie. Now he's a grown drug addict. So we're
He's
gonna go.
not so charming.
Yeah, I'm sure not. So we're gonna go check that out. Here's a fake thing. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Birdman, can't make it to the phone right now, so like totally leave me a message and stuff, and I might get back to you. I don't know, probably not. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, Bird, Danny, just wondering where you went? We were in the middle of recording a podcast episode, and you just kind of bolted out the back door, and we don't even have a back door, so I'm going to need you to pitch in on paying to put that in, because it's drafty. Also, I wanted to confirm, I know you and I have a skydiving appointment set. That is Tuesday, 2 weeks from now at 1:42 p.m. But I wanted to make sure that you're down for that because I already put the deposit in, and they're not going to give me that back either way. So we got to make sure that we've got that. It's a lot. It's $17,000. So it's a lot for us to go skydiving. Also, I wanted to make sure that for tomorrow that you bring extra buckshot because we're going squirrel hunting. I know you've been looking forward to it. I'll bring some cold brew that we're making at the house now that we've got our own guava plants. They're the big tooth squirrels. I think they're called rabbits mostly. I'm looking forward to it. It's not a great time for it, 4 p.m., but if that's when you want to go, then that's when we'll go. So, give me a call back because we need to finish this podcast episode, and I will talk to you then. Okay. Bye.
Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his latest project at suns.bandcamp.com. That is sunds.bandcamp.com. Thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our artwork. Please check out more of their stuff on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. First-time listener, we're anywhere podcasts are found, but if you don't subscribe to any of those services, listen to the show for free on our website. It's just the number 2, movies.buzzsprout.com. That's it's just 2movies.buzzsprout.com. Want to get in touch with the show? Email us at itsjust2movies@gmail.com or find us on Twitter or Instagram at itsjust2movies. Want to support the show? Great. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe on whatever platform tickles your fancy. So anyway, back to the show. We're back. We just watched The Lost Boys.
Yes, we did.
3, The Thirst.
Yes, The Thirst. It was...
Wow,
something.
What a movie that they made. Hold on, The Thirst. There it is.
Yeah, Cory. Man, he's an amazing actor.
This is an interesting. We'll get into it here in a second. It's not that old. It's a 2010 horror action film, hour 21, so it's pretty breezy.
Not comedy.
No, not comedy. Evidently,
action.
It's got a 5.1 out of 10 on IMDb. It gives me a voodoo rating here of 3.7 out of 5. And 78% of Google users liked this movie. What do you think about that? That 78% of Google
think that
users
number
like this?
Seems a lot. It seems very high.
Seems generous to you?
Yeah, real generous. I mean, I enjoyed it, but not because it was a good movie.
Right.
At all.
This is what I mean by our bad movie score. I think the Google users is almost probably pretty close to a good reflection.
Right.
There's a specific reason that those people went onto Google and rated that movie.
Definitely.
And it wasn't because they were just channel surfing and were like, well, that's a thing I've never seen. I guess I'll watch it. And went, wow, I'll give it 7.8 out of 10.
They do have a little bit of a, they get into that nostalgia for the Lost Boys throughout the whole movie. So since I did like the Lost Boys,
it's got a good, the thing that it does that kind of reaches back to the first one is pretty good as far as like stylistically,
right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
with the soundtrack and the way that it's shot and the motorcycles or, whatever. Was there motorcycles in this one? I feel like there was motorcycles right up top.
That was a bad time.
Are you all right?
But yeah, I'm not sure if there was motorcycles.
All right.
You gotta stop for 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're done.
I think they call that cut, right? Cut a few minutes ago. Holy shit.
Initial release, October 12th, 2010, directed by Dario Piana. Music by Ella... CMIR.
Yeah, I'm not going to be no help on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Corey Feldman, Jameson Newfoundler,
Yeah, that's the
Tanit
other frog
Phoenix,
brother.
Casey B. Dolan, Seb Castang, Joe Vaz, Matthew, Dylan Roberts. That's all of them that I'm going to read because nobody cares now.
You know what this should have been called? The Frog Brothers 3.
Frog Bros Unite.
Something along those lines.
I actually had some other things in mind for this because I think with a couple of little tweaks and a couple of big tweaks, that you could really have something here. Like this has got some promising stuff in it, but it's definitely way south of the bar.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what would you say this was about?
Oh man, what's this? Just about all of them. You gotta kill the vampire.
The main, still got to kill the main.
The main one, and then you don't know which one it's gonna be. You think it's this one guy, Alpha Albra guy.
Yeah, Alpha Eyebrow guy.
That's who you think it is, right? Because he's
got the brows.
He's
man.
Kiefer Sutherland in the first one, right?
Right.
So, it's not him though, right?
No.
But how they that's skipping to the end, but how they kill him is badass.
Yeah, dude, how they kill him is badass. So there's some cool weapons, and there's a cool weapon in this. I mean to say.
Oh, don't forget the water gun.
Yeah,
with even the squeaky effect.
It's got like a water gun grenade launcher thing.
Right. Yeah, because it can't hurt the humans,
Yeah, of course. So you've got Frog. His brother's a vampire now. It's Corey Feldman. He's Frog. He lives in kind of a shithole. His house is getting ready to get repossessed, and then he's like, "I gotta get vampires because they're getting bad now. I gotta get them."
Yeah.
So he sets out to do that, and gathers some cohorts along the way.
But you can't forget one of the most important parts.
I did probably, but what is it?
His energy drink with the egg in said trailer.
That is, it's the most important meal of the day.
It is.
At 1 p.m.
Breakfast? Yeah, exactly.
What is it? Is it like a sugar packet and an egg and something else?
Yeah, maybe vinegar. I don't know.
Looked pretty gross.
It didn't.
Oh, it's garlic.
Probably.
Yeah, garlic.
Oh, yeah.
Garlic.
That would
raw
make sense.
egg. You ever slug back a raw egg?
I have not.
I've on a few occasions.
Nope. I don't know. There's reasons why people do that, and I don't know those reasons, and I don't really need to know those reasons.
Oh.
I won't be doing that.
Well, I used to work out a lot. It was like a lot of lifting, and one time was like we got done lifting, we went upstairs and we realized that we were out of protein.
Right.
So we got 6 eggs out of the fridge and just go.
Okay, well, there's a good reason to do it.
That's it. I did it like 3 times.
That sounds rough.
I did it another time when I was younger just to see why.
But does that process the same way? I guess it does, huh? It doesn't matter how you do it.
Pretty much.
Take a drink here.
Oh, no, you're fine, man. Vampires are a disease. You know what I'm saying? They're coming. They're a plague and they're coming.
They're coming.
Only Corey Feldman can save the day.
That's right.
He's eating his gross shit for breakfast, and he's collecting he's putting a team together, and he gets them, and they go get vampires, and he winds up like killing the vampire that is his brother is a vampire because of that one. So he killed the main one, so now his brother's not a vampire anymore. That's the whole. See how easy that was, Hollywood.
That was a real quick version of what we saw. Yeah, that would have done it there from the get-go.
It's not.
Although this was pretty short.
A couple of things I liked about it. Number one, right up top, breezy.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what I mean? I like that for what it is. Like, it doesn't have to be nuanced. This could be a really, really fun 20-minute adventure. You know what I mean? Full of funny shit and quips and great effects, and it did have some really great effects. A lot of it actually looked pretty damn good, I thought.
Right? Yeah. There were some that, some of the fight scenes were really good.
Oh, yeah. So, well, some of them, there was like, you could definitely tell like the wire fighting team, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like somebody just flying on a wire, which was fine. You know, I don't necessarily, I get it.
Right.
I get it. It's, how much cheaper do you think it is to do a wire fighting thing versus a like CGI super dangerous or fatal fall or throw or whatever?
I don't know. You are asking the wrong guy for that.
I know.
I don't have the slightest idea.
I wonder, because a wire fighting team would cost like, I don't know, a couple $100.
A couple $100.
Maybe
is that
maybe
all?
$1,500. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
You're talking.
I'm talking one good beam.
You would have to have
One good beam,
top notch.
couple of ball bearings.
What was the budget for that anyway? What was their budget for the fight scenes?
For the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, let me find out. Let's see here. Budget.
Because I didn't look any of this up. I wanted all this second movie to be.
All right. I want to find out too. Lost Boys.
I mean, I guess I have a phone here too.
Is there a sequel to The Lost Boys: The Thirst?
I hope not. Hopefully,
Here we go. Here we go.
Until Cory Feldman is not with us, until he's not with us, I believe there's always a chance to have a fourth one. What do you think the name would be for the fourth Lost Boys movie?
Oh my God, fucking Thick. THICC, The Lost Boys, Mad Thick, or something
I'm pretty
like
sure there's already movies like that out there.
I guarantee you that's what I would do. But I would be like, let's make it a comedy. Because I think I'm funny.
I think they did a pretty
total
good job.
estimated domestic video sales is $2,894,326. But I could not find the budget.
That's real.
Which is weird because I was looking for the budget and I found the domestic sales.
Well, that's actually more money than I would have expected it to make. How much of that do you think is nostalgia?
Shit.
I mean, I bought this movie.
Do you love it?
I do.
Do you?
I don't love it.
Man, there honestly are a couple of bad movies we've watched for this show I would absolutely relish to own.
Right.
Tammy and the T-Rex. I really wish I had that one. I had a ton of fun with that. Yeah.
Man or whatever it was. What was it?
Spaghetti Man.
Spaghetti Man.
Yeah. It's on Prime still, I think. So if you have Prime, please watch Spaghetti Man. It is worth your time.
I'm going to have to get Prime just for Spaghetti Man.
You could probably just rent it somewhere and not pay for Prime if you don't want to.
Well, we're thinking about getting rid of TV anyway and switching to a couple of different, because we already have, how many ever we already have, and we're still paying for the TV.
Yeah.
We're not watching.
We get HBO through a promotion.
Right.
And we have Hulu and Netflix and Prime.
Right.
Do we have any more?
So you can get a few,
but
we
use
and choose what you want, right?
We use the Redbox app and tons of like free movie apps because for watching movies for the show, sometimes it'll be on Tubi. I can watch 6 minutes of ads and then watch a 2.5 hour movie instead of paying $6 to rent it.
Right.
Anyway, I wouldn't say I have a whole lot to say about this. A lot of it looked good. Like, as far as the cinematography, the way that it was set up, they kind of flirt with some of the scenes from the first movie. Like you were saying, when you spotted the bit where they're on the little cliffside or whatever, and you're like, this is the tree scene from the other movie. And it is exactly that.
Right.
It
doesn't show any of the kill scenes, though, there, right?
No, that's a cool wink and a nod. There is one brutal kill. You
must be talking about whenever the woman comes down on Cory Feldman and he breaks a record and slices her throat. That's got to be it, right? Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect that was really it.
It's when the like young vampire alpha prince or whatever bites that girl's throat out.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty...
That's like the brutalest thing in the whole movie, really. I kind of like the effect where they like burn up and turn to ash or whatever. That's very Blade,
Right,
but it looked good in Blade, and it looks pretty good in this.
Right.
So kudos to that. I don't hate that.
So there was one that seemed to explode into ash quite a bit more than the others.
Mm.
And I was saying something like it looked like a pillow exploded or something.
Mm.
So I wonder if he was a bigger guy, so he blew up bigger. So it looked like a bigger... I'm probably making that up. But I feel like that's a thing.
No,
and what about the fight scene?
That would make sense because, mass.
Max Maxwell, or whatever his name was.
What? Oh, Punchy?
Yeah, the guys where they fought.
Yeah.
By the way, Max Maxwell is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And if you haven't seen that episode, it's pretty...
I have not. I guess I'm not that far.
Oh, it's like the season that's happening now, I guess, is the final season.
Yeah.
And it very well might be it's the last episode I had recorded, so it may be the last one, I don't know.
Where I'm at, Peralta just got out of prison.
Okay.
Which is great. The whole stint with him in prison. Anyway, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is somebody reviewing that's a different show. It's great, by the way. So back to the Lost Boys, The Thirst. Let me just... Oh,
You feel better?
Yeah. The Lost Boys. The Thirst.
I like what you did there.
What were some... Before I kind of go to take a shit on a bunch of this, do you have any other positives? I like to soften the blow by building them up a little bit. Do you have anything else that you were like, I really like that? Because I could point out some other little tiny things, but...
Yeah, I mean, tiny things here and there, right? But it was the nostalgia thing here and there where they had the different scenes, like where they were jumping out of the airplane. That was them falling off the train bridge, you know. And then, like you said, the one by the tree, or where they were in the tree or whatever in the first one. But yeah, that's those I liked. How they killed the dude and how the very last guy with that grenade deal.
Oh, man.
That thing was badass.
Thank you for bringing that up. So the coolest weapon in this whole thing, and one of the coolest weapons I've seen in a thing in a long time. So you're after vampires, and they get this, grenade, proximity grenade you slide on the floor, and it explodes this, resin that just turns into spikes and instantly cures and kills vampires. And I gotta tell you, man, that is a dope-ass grenade.
Yeah.
It just turns into a giant fucking spike thing.
Yeah.
And impales you right there on the spot.
He was there. That last one was alive, just dangling on it.
Talking shit on it. It's like, fucking, I'll catch you at a bad time. No, the grenade thing was fucking awesome. I really, really, really was into that. Not crazy about 90% of the acting in it. And I don't know, man, the driving story, the driving factor of the story was really just, it's still Cory Feldman and there's still vampires.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't personally invested in it.
No, but he should be, because he's not doing his job very well if this is the third time he's had to do the same job.
No shit. It's like Taken. He's a terrible father.
Yeah. I haven't seen all the Taken movies.
Me neither.
I think they're good, but I'm the same way.
love the first one, and I'm down to watch the second, and I don't know about the third one, man. That just sounds like that would be difficult to make Taken 3. Still starring Liam Neeson.
Right?
Do you think I could see doing a Taken 3 and it being a guy or a lady that was an ex-Green Beret or shit. Something that'd be fucking badass.
Yeah.
Just make it a different thing. It doesn't have to be the exact same individual. Different part of the world. You know what I mean?
How did we get over here? We got real lost.
It doesn't matter. Well, I tell you how I'm going to get back is what I'm saying about Taken. Instead of doing it with Liam Neeson and doing somebody else in the lead role every time, and just making them different movies from different perspectives and different people.
Yeah.
Do that with The Lost Boys.
Okay.
Totally different cast, totally disconnected characters.
Really? You're not going to have Cory
do
everyone?
No, I absolutely would not.
Right. No,
Don't get me wrong, he's got a certain bit of charm, but if I want to make it a profitable fucking, which I mean, I guess it probably is profitable. Doesn't look like it cost a ton to make.
I wouldn't think so.
Might have broke even $3 million,
Right.
somewhere in that ballpark. That might not be too bad. But yeah, I would just make it a totally disconnected story.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go, Brick.
I won't tell nobody.
All right. All right, back
your
on
Dennis
target.
Rodman.
Back on target. We're both doing it. I'm sure I just cut out a big chunk, and you're like, "Well, that sounded weird." That's what it was. It was just us going off on a tangent that had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. This vampire movie. I'm still digging the vampires. There were some effects where like they were flying and then they landed,
Right.
and I thought it was like I was actually really impressed with the way that wound up looking. As far as the transition from flight to be standing on the ground, I was like, well, it's actually pretty impressive. You know what, man? I'm not sure what else I really have to say about this thing. What would you do if you were going to improve it? Apart from make it totally, because I would make it a totally disconnected event. I don't think it's necessary to tie it to the first one or the second one that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But I like the universe and the lore that they've built there.
Yeah,
I like that
sure.
seedy underworld. Like it's kind of cool,
yeah.
man. I'm kind of digging that bit.
And you can do tons of different stories in the same world.
Absolutely.
Different characters tying into different
Absolutely.
lines.
Yeah, and who would you like if you could make that movie and just like cast 3 people for it? Doesn't matter who.
Well, you need a
lead, you need a supporting role, and you need a vampire.
Well, you know who the supporting role is.
Who would it be?
It's Seth Rogen.
Seth
For the camera guy. You know it's got to
Okay,
be.
if we're going comedy, yes, I would agree.
Oh, man, I don't know how. This is pretty funny as it is.
So who's your lead character? You're like kind of borderline crazy guy. Not crazy guy, just like seems like he's a conspiracy theorist, but whoop, he's right.
Right. You're
There's
Corey Feldman.
fucking all these
It can't be Corey
goddamn
Feldman.
vampires.
Right. I don't know who I would go. Nicolas Cage.
Who'd you just say?
Nicolas Cage.
Before that.
Seth Rogen.
Okay, so you get Seth Rogen. Man, if it's going to be a comedy, I would probably get...
Why not do the Pineapple Express crew?
Exactly. Oh, man, Danny McBride is the vampire.
Dude. My notes. Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, oh, I love Eastbound and Down.
I've never seen it. I just am learning about Eastbound and Down.
Did you just watch some of it?
Yeah,
Have you seen Righteous Gemstones?
I haven't.
It's.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It is.
I've heard of Eastbound and Down too, but I've never seen it. And
they're different, but kind of have part of the same feel. Eastbound and Down's great though.
Yeah, I'm only 4 episodes in, and that's been the last few days. It's been real good though.
Wait, come back to it because we're not to that segment yet.
I figured you'd cut this part and put it later. I didn't know how that would work.
I don't want to do that. We'll come back to it. We'll pretend we didn't talk about Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Eastbound and Down? Who knows? Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah.
Same time.
Just like your favorite TV show.
My favorite TV show.
You know.
Justified.
No. We all know it's The Big Bang Theory. We discovered that earlier.
Yeah. I gave you a couple of recommendations. We got to get back on target. We don't have to get back on target. We'll come straight back to this.
Right.
So, maybe a recast. I definitely would pass it through the writer's table because some of this, like the dialogue and stuff, is cheesy and kind of awkward and all thumbs. Yeah. But it is that way because it's the third part in this story that really kind of climaxed on the first one. I haven't seen the second one. Maybe the second one's pure gold. Doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I'm sure
I believe that's not the case.
It might be fine, but the first one was pretty good, especially for 1987. This one was made in 2010, and it's definitely not better than the first one.
Right. Definitely not.
So make it a totally different thing in the same world because I like the stuff the vampires can do. I don't hate the look. that they're all like fucking pale kind of punk rock night owls or you know what I mean? Like they're all just like late night street ruffian looking motherfuckers.
Right.
But like it's a good look. It's kind of very the Warriors kind of vibe going on.
Oh, and then what about the zombies?
Zombies everywhere.
That's
in this
what they
vampire
look like.
movie. They're just zombies with sharp teeth.
Zompires.
Zompires, thank you.
I think I was trying to figure it out.
It's
I didn't think
the people that call
it
a striker foul. You know what I mean? Zompires.
Zompires. By the way, there was a portion of the first movie where you saw Waldo. The dude had a "Where's Waldo" shirt on.
No shit.
I even made a note that said I found Waldo.
That's fucking cool. Dude, what if you made a shirt and just someplace you put a really tiny wall, like, you know what I mean, like on the inseam of the armpit or something, or just like on the very bottom, like towards the back or whatever, just a teeny tiny Waldo.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, you'd sell some shit just because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you ever have one, if you ever have a shirt,
put a little Waldo on it.
You should put a Waldo somewhere.
We gotta have It's Just Two Movies version of Waldo. What would you call it? Where's Trash?
Trash. What was the guy's name in the movie? Trash.
Oh my God, his name was Johnny Garbage.
Johnny Garbage.
No, it was Trash. It was Trash. Johnny Trash.
Right.
You knew he was coming back to. I fucking called it.
You did.
Johnny Trash in the first 5 minutes of the movie. I was like, that's not the last we'll see of Johnny Trash. 45 minutes in, oh my God. That's something smells like garbage. No. I said it's trash. Johnny Trash, and he's just dead.
Right. That's excellent.
That son of a bitch.
Right. Yeah, some of the one-liners. What was the other one when they first got to the main rave at the end, and Cory Feldman comes around and he's with the girl and he says something ridiculous. You was looking at your phone or something, and
You want some beans?
No, that
something. I
wasn't the
swear to
beans.
God, he says, "Are you hungry for beans?" Or
No, this is he
something.
did. That was whenever he was buying his weapons.
I'm gonna rewatch this movie. I'm gonna find that bit,
You got to.
and I'm gonna make a thing. I'm gonna make a thing out of it.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about watching all these stupid
Man,
movies.
Cory Feldman, don't fucking sue me. Is Cory Feldman still alive? I think he is.
He is.
Let's
I
find
don't
out.
think. I'm not shitting all over Cory Feldman, but
No.
I'm kind of shitting all over Cory Feldman. I appreciate what he's done, especially 15-year-old or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, he's
Or
in
however
some
he was
movies.
in Goonies and whatever else.
Yeah, he's in some movies I definitely quite liked as a kid.
Right. But yeah, this
No, he's 50 years old.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, born July 16th, 1971. Cory Philbin, actor, 5'5". Wow, he's a tiny little guy. Cool, man. Yeah. Stand By Me, Goonies.
Stand By Me, yeah.
Yeah, the two Corys, Goonies 2, Friday the 13th. I mean, like, he just was in a bunch of cult films in the
Right.
in the 80s, you know. It was
Exactly.
very quintessential. One of your favorite movies, you fucker. Your favorite TV show,
Right.
The Accountant, or what's Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah.
That's your favorite show.
At least it ain't the Big Bang Theory. I
Right?
actually kind of like
That's
the Big
worse.
Bang Theory. I watched
I've
every bit
never
of it.
seen it.
I'm not gonna lie.
My parents like it, and I have been in their house and like watched a few minutes of it, but I've never sat through a whole episode. I watched like 5 or 10 minutes of it. I was like, okay, I get it.
Right.
It's this every week. It's like it's a Seinfeld, but
It
a
is.
different bit and some different jokes and the same laugh track actually.
Right. It is. Yeah. They just reuse the same one on every show.
It's fucking
probably.
amazing. Okay, so this thing sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
it's
say for the
not-
most part, it's definitely got some promising elements.
Right.
It wouldn't take much to make it a different thing that would be like actually pretty gripping and exciting.
A little more.
And just disconnect it from the other thing, because you could still give it the same title. It doesn't have to be those characters.
Right. Yeah. The title doesn't
I don't
mean anything.
think. Yeah, in my opinion,
I don't think it does.
No, just lead it up as to on a different side of the planet.
Unless the thirst is about all those piss bottles, all those piss jugs into the master vampire.
Yeah. Exclusively yellow Gatorade. That's all they could have, and it was garlic piss.
It was garlic.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And you like, if you ever had like a Sugar Smacks cereal, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
When you eat Sugar Smacks cereal and then you take a piss, does your piss smell like Sugar Smacks cereal?
I'm not gonna. I don't think I've had that. I haven't had enough of those Sugar Smacks
To know.
No. So I'm gonna go with no. If they do, and if you're telling me something here, you might want to see a doctor.
No, it happens to me with coffee too. Like when seriously, my body can only absorb like 10 ounces of coffee, but I drink like 23 or 24.
Right.
So there's a protein in coffee that my body doesn't break down.
Okay.
It just passes it right
so
through.
So it's a thing.
It's only coffee and whatever's in barley that's in Sugar Smack cereal, like that barley sugar that's in it.
That makes sense, but I'm sure I'm not here because of my medical expertise.
Well, I was curious, so I looked it up, and it's a common thing. Like it's not dangerous at all. It's like 1 in every 10 people have it, and it has nothing to do with your health. That's all your body can soak up, so it just passes the rest.
Yeah, dude.
Weird.
Medical shit blows my mind. I wouldn't want to be a doctor. There's no way I could handle it.
I really wanted to be a doctor, but could not afford medical school.
Right.
I wanted to be a surgeon, like a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon.
Oh man, there's no way that ain't for me.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's awesome. Somebody's got to do it.
Or a biologist. I'd love to be a biologist. Anything to like nurture living things. I like that shit. Anyway, Back on target. Let's go ahead and how much of this? Okay, all right. Okay. We've been rambling for a long time. Let's go ahead and thumb this. How many Corey Feldman's thumbs would you give this as a bad movie? Or you could defer to me if you would like. I'm happy to go first. I know our rating system is confusing for some people.
I get the
myself
rating
included.
System. As far as the movie goes, it's got to be maybe a 2 or a 3, maybe for a movie itself.
Oh yeah,
because there's some good stuff in there, but overall it's not great. But as far as having fun with it, I had quite a bit of fun with it myself. I'm gonna say probably a 9.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
It.
I would give this a really hard, I think I'm going to give this, a 9.25 maybe. Like, this is ridiculously awful, but the thing that I liked about it so much, hour and 20 minutes.
Right, it was breezy.
Get as stupid as you fucking want in an hour and 20 minutes. I don't care because it's only an hour and 20 minutes. As long as it makes sense, which it did.
I think we should make an edit. Can they be Zompire thumbs? They should totally...
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, well, I'm not going to edit that back in there, but just so we're all fucking clear, this movie is rated in Zompire thumbs.
I think it should cut from you to my voice.
Yeah.
To cut back to you and act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Is that in? No, we're good. But yeah.
Zompire thumbs.
Zompire thumbs.
9.25. That's solid, man. Yeah. That's a solid motherfucking run. I like it. Lost Boys, The Thirst.
We shit all over it sometimes and we like it another time.
Man, I tell you, I'm with you though. Like as a regular, like to sit down and actually watch a movie, I give it maybe a 3.5. Like I did actually like quite a bit of the cinematography and the way like some of the scenes were shot up. I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty good.
There's a lot of unneeded stuff, even in only an hour and 20 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like the dude that was all about his social media stuff, that wasn't needed, right?
No. But you could have used that to get another really interesting character in there, like a Seth Rogen. You know what I mean? Just shoehorn somebody in there who's great and give them 10 minutes of screen time.
Right.
It's like 15 minutes of screen time. That doesn't have to be much. You could use them for a day, and they could take the rest of the day off.
And he wouldn't be as expensive then.
No, probably not.
I don't know how that works.
I'm not a huge fan of Seth Rogen's like stoner humor stuff, but his like humor that's not like ho ho ho.
I'm the same way.
I'm
I'm
super
not.
high. I do like it though. Like The Interview. God, I love The Interview. Have you seen that
I
one?
don't think I've seen the interview. I know what it
man.
is, but I don't think I've ever actually put the time in
Oh
for it.
man, it's great. It's great. It is funny, fucking weird. It's a really weird role for what's his name? His buddy, the other guy.
Yeah, the long hair.
Seth Rogen and the more famous one.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Seth Rogen might be worth more
now, but the other one's been. I don't know. He's been. What the heck is his name?
I'm looking it
on the
up.
tip of he's been a child actor and everything.
James Franco,
of course, and I feel he's in so many good things.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot his name, and I feel
man.
terrible.
I think probably my favorite two Franco flicks are probably The Interview and The Disaster Artist.
Nice.
Have you seen The Disaster Artist?
Nope.
Okay, so The Disaster Artist is a movie about a bad movie.
Really?
Like the way that we do them on the show. The bad movie is called The Room, and it was written, directed, and produced by this guy named Tommy Wiseau. And Tommy Wiseau is just a really weird... He's a weird guy. He really cares about what he's doing, but he has no fucking idea how to do it. He doesn't even know how to carry on a normal conversation.
Okay.
So he stars in this movie that's very strange. So The Disaster Artist is about that movie, and Tommy Wiseau is played by James Franco. And
that sounds pretty good.
It's fucking wild, man. It is wild.
This goes back to...
I've actually never seen... No, wait. I have seen The Room. I've seen it one time. And I would definitely be down to do it on this show at some point. But I'm not sure what I would pair it with.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a romance drama. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fucking weird movie. Anyway, let's talk about the other segment of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
So, what you watching? You like... what have you got? Some notes there?
I got some notes because
ahead,
I knew I would
what
have to tell you.
Go ahead, flip them, dog.
Because I need help.
You got what you been reading?
So I finally...
We've been reading, playing, watching movies, TV. Card games.
Card games. I haven't played any card games.
Dice games.
No dice games either.
Family photo flip-throughs.
I do have a lot of kids.
Projector educational slides.
Nah. You've been doing that?
No. Oh God, no. What's what do you got going on?
All right, so I don't play as many video games right now. I get into some here and there, but I don't have enough time to put a lot of time into anything. So I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. They, those new tournaments and everything that they've been doing a lot more of now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing some of them, so that's been pretty cool. I have been playing. I played the beta of Diablo 2 Remastered.
Oh yeah, how is it?
It's awesome.
I cannot wait, dude. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's later this month, so I'm...
It's not on PlayStation yet, is it?
No, nothing's out right now, but it's all going to come out on the... It will be coming out on PlayStation.
Fuck yeah.
I think on the 28th.
Oh, dude, or
23rd or something.
Yeah,
it's this month.
I'm really excited about it because my kid loves Diablo 3.
Right.
And I always tell her, I'm like, Diablo 3 is pretty sweet. It really is. Like, the Demon Hunter class is such a fun DPS build as far as damage per second for people that don't care or give a shit about video games. But it's a really fun build for one character class, but Diablo 2 had an element of, like, terror and the unknown that 3 didn't have.
Right, yeah. 3, I never could get into any kind of story with that. So 2 has a story that seems that I actually enjoyed. And I spent so much time back in the day playing Diablo 2.
Fucking A.
Magic finding for stuff. I'm such a nerd.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love a good RPG.
Right.
As far as me for video games, I've been playing Civilization 6.
Oh, yeah.
I got that on, I had to like $4 on Nintendo Rewards or whatever.
Right.
And I just looked at games on sale and I was like, oh shit, Civ 6 for fucking $8. And then I used I paid $4 for it and it,
I almost bought that on Xbox.
I've made my way. I'm like 200 turns into the tutorial round because I think a game is 330 turns. And I'm pretty positive I'm gonna get my fucking ass beat.
Right?
Because I've only got 100 turns left, and I've been fucking this up for like 100. You know what I mean? I've been fucking it up for 200 turns already.
Right.
But now I get it.
Yeah,
so when I
I
go to restart it, I'm like, okay. But it's a really long, like, one game. I think the tutorial version that I played anyway would have taken me 6-7 hours.
Right.
For one game.
That's crazy.
I'm sure there are different rules where it's like sped up or whatever, but
Oh, right. Yeah, you probably played the long version or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing?
I finished Green Hell. That was good. Survival game. Real hard. It was. I think I was telling you about that.
Yeah. Back. You did tell me about that one. I actually looked it up and was like, damn, it looks fucking intense.
It was real hard. Once we figured it out, it's easy, you know, how just like anything is. But
right.
My friend Buzz had a mansion on that game. You're supposed to have like these little huts, and he's got 2-story buildings with massive gardens all over the place. So I just joined his game, and he got all the achievements for me.
Showed you the ropes and shit.
Yeah,
fucking
he's like, here,
man.
just pick this stuff up and use this. And
I put my PlayStation in my daughter's room because she's been playing Genshin Impact.
Okay.
Which is cross-platform. Now I know there are other games that are cross-platform, but specifically for a game like Genshin Impact, I think that it is really cool that she can go sit in the kitchen and play on her laptop, and then close her laptop, get in the car with us, go to her uncle's house or something, and she can play the same game on her phone, like from the same save point.
Right.
And then she can play it until she gets home, save it, and then jump back on the PlayStation and play it in her. But like, I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's a game that you can just play on everything.
Yeah.
And I asked her,
I was thought that was a good idea, right?
Right. No shit. Yeah. And it's freemium. Like, she can spend money on it if she wants to, but she doesn't.
Right. Oh.
She doesn't. I always tell her, I'm like, it's your money. It's your money. It's your money, man. You work for it. Fucking spend it on whatever you want.
Right.
She's really good at saving it, though. I was not.
That's good. Right? Me either. Obviously.
Clearly. Oh, man.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched, started Eastbound and Down. I'd never seen it before.
That's some good Danny McBride.
Right. I'm 4 episodes in. I can't believe I've missed out on this. This is good stuff.
Man, Eastbound and Down is good stuff. It is good stuff. I like Danny McBride, Katie Mixon, and Steve Little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Katie Mixon looks great in that show.
She really does.
Like,
so the episode I watched most recently was when they get in the bedroom together at the barbecue, and he's all worried about her emotions, right?
Yeah,
obviously. Then they go outside. Her her fiance is out there with the girl with her titties out, and man, that is a train wreck, right?
Yeah. If you really like Eastbound and Down, you should also check out The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
It's got St. Louis's own John Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
What's not to love about that? And Danny McBride and the kid from Workaholics, Andy and
I know of Workaholics, but I can picture all 3 of the guys.
I feel like it's Andy something. Hold on.
Oh, I watched the first season of True Detective too.
Adam Devine.
Yes. I watched the first season of True Detective because you guys talked about it.
I also watched the first season of True Detective not that long ago. What did you think about it?
I liked it. The first season I finished. I really liked the first season. It was really good.
Fucking reaches out and grabs you by the balls and it's like, hey, you fucking listen to me. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
I keep wanting to watch it. I kept falling asleep watching it, so I had to rewatch several episodes because I'm watching this stuff at 11, 12 o'clock at night, you know.
Right.
And then
I do want to talk about a album briefly.
Yeah.
Because this also applies to what you're listening to, if that's a thing you're into promoting. But a band that I like called Dirty Loops just dropped a new album called Turbo, which is on Spotify. And I gotta tell you, man, that shit is.
What kind is it? I'm not familiar with it.
It's like the dirtiest, filthiest fucking funk dance music you've ever heard. And I don't like. I'm not a dancing guy, but I'm a music guy, and it's a real fucking toe tapper.
Right.
I'll put it on after we're done here.
Sounds good.
And I started rewatching a little bit of The Witcher because I heard it's getting a season 2 reboot.
Okay.
And I feel like the first time I watched the series The Witcher, I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes really intently, and then I just kind of like casually watched the last couple. So I just want to catch up on it and make sure I'm on board, because on the whole, I really did like that series.
I never watched Witcher, never played the games. I've
never played the games either, but I quite enjoyed the show, and I'm not even sure I watched all of it.
Right.
Do you have anything else you've been getting into?
Yellowstone, that is a really good show. You talked about it. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah. My dad loves that show.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that's what you were telling me when I was telling you about it. I was hesitant to watch it for whatever reason. It just didn't seem like it would be up my alley. And then wife was wanting to watch it, so we bought the seasons on DVD, and we watched the first 2, and we got the third one, and I made her wait on the third one because now I'm into it. So I don't want to watch the third season until the 4th one's getting ready to release.
Oh, yeah. Time.
So I don't have to wait forever.
I got to binge, man. Like, I started watching Loki on Disney+. That's the other streaming service we have, by the way, Disney+. But I started watching it, and I was like, I just couldn't wait anymore. The suspense was killing me, and it is a really great series. And I think it's like 8 episodes, and I watched the first 7, and then the last episode hadn't come out yet, and I still haven't watched it. And this has been 3 or 4 months ago. Like,
so
I just need to sit down.
The build-up isn't there anymore.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm waiting for them. I want to finish the last episode of Loki and then jump right into the What If series.
Oh, right, yeah.
I like their approach to the world building.
Right.
I think it's good as a dungeon master and a fellow fucking nerd.
Right.
I think it's cool. Anyway, actually, I have one thing I wanted to talk about from the Gram. I put out I usually, the night that we're going to record, I'll put out a question, see if anybody has something they want us to discuss. I did get one here. It says, favorite movie that you like that everyone else hates.
Favorite movie that I like.
That everyone else hates. Yeah. So, for me, my mind immediately goes to like movies that I love that I don't play in my house very often, just because my old lady doesn't like them. So not that. I'm talking like movies everybody is like, why do you like that? That is a fucking good question. What's a comfort movie for me that is very specific to me? The movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. That's like a comfort movie for me it's not the type of movie I even like. Right. But I just put it on and fucking go right to sleep.
There you go.
I guess maybe it's because I probably fall asleep by the part where Mark Wahlberg's getting shot.
Right. Man, I don't know what movie that I would like. I don't watch enough movies, honestly, to have one that I know.
I gotta have one on to go to sleep, but I like shit with a dull color palette.
Right.
I like shit with a adult, like Lord of the Rings. Anything Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, that's perfect, because it's all like kind of beige and dark greens and dark blues and grayscales and you know. But
the question wasn't what do you like to
that everybody. Yeah, it's what everybody else doesn't like. I really like the movie Tokyo Zombie.
Okay, and that probably I don't even know what that is, but it falls into that list.
I think that falls under the code of this. I like the movie Tokyo Zombie, and I like it because not because it's bad, but because it's so meta with what it's doing that it's just hysterical. I don't know what else to say about it. It fucking cracks me up. I could watch it over and over and over again, and it's hilarious every time.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you can borrow it if you want to have it.
It sounds excellent.
It's bizarre. It's all in subtitles, and it's super fucking weird. It's like Mr. Magoo. It's like Mr. Magoo meets Inspector Gadget,
Right.
but in a zombie apocalypse. But it's one of the guys. He's really into Taekwondo or Jiu-Jitsu. I don't remember which one.
So
it's the one where it's all on the floor. I think
I'm not a ninja master.
I don't know.
I know I appear to be, but
you have the physique of a ninja master.
Totally.
Yeah,
the Beverly Hills one with Chris Farley.
Beverly Hills. Some say it is so.
Man, I ain't got nothing else. That's all that's all I got as far as what I've been watching.
Let me ask you this. There's one thing I did want to ask you though. Since you are I don't even know if I would say long time, but I mean, if you've listened to all of our episodes except for 3 thus far,
right?
That makes you a long time listener to me. So as a long time listener, before you were ever a first time guest, I'm curious to know, how do you listen to the episode?
Well, the majority of the time, I listen to it whenever I'm, I get home from work and I get in the shower and I'm all naked.
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that bold talk! We're a one-eyed Batman!
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob. We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
Pretty much.
Take a drink here.
Oh, no, you're fine, man. Vampires are a disease. You know what I'm saying? They're coming. They're a plague and they're coming.
They're coming.
Only Corey Feldman can save the day.
That's right.
He's eating his gross shit for breakfast, and he's collecting he's putting a team together, and he gets them, and they go get vampires, and he winds up killing the vampire that is his brother is a vampire because of that one. So he killed the main one. So now his brother's not a vampire anymore. That's the whole. See how easy that was, Hollywood?
That was a real quick version of what we saw. Yeah, that would have done it there from the get-go.